So you guys all know about the horror story, you know what god rolls you're chasing, and although everyone has been saying horror story is incredible, and don't get me wrong, it's good. I like it a lot personally, but on its own, it feels like there's a slight X factor it's been missing. Luckily there are two exotics that if you combine it with two different sets of rolls, elevate horror story to S tier status. Truly. There are two exotics that actually reduce the TTK of the gun significantly. Now, Horror Story on its own has an optimal TTK of 0.8 seconds, requiring 6 headshots and 1 body shot against the highest resilience guardians. With Target Lock, the role that most people are chasing, although it makes the gun more forgiving, the gun's TTK remains 0.8 seconds against the highest resilience guardians. It does drop the TTK to 0.67 seconds for those hunters and warlocks running 6 or less resilience, but against the majority of titans who run high resilience, the TTK of the gun remains the exact same. And with Arc and Void Titans being the absolute meta in the Crucible right now, you really need the TTK to be lower than 0.8 seconds to feel like the gun absolutely shreds, especially against SMGs like the Unending Tempest and the Immortal, which do shred in 0.7 seconds or under against those high resilience guardians with the Target Lock roll. So the first exotic combination I wanted to recommend was actually Mask of Bakris, which after dodging gives you a 4 times arc/stasis weapon surge. Now this is a 6% damage boost in PvP that lasts for a whopping 11 seconds, and it actually shifts the TTK for Horror Story. With Bakris activated, even the highest resilience guardians can be destroyed in just 6 shots for that 0.67 second melt. Honestly, with Bakris activated, Horror Story does feel incredible, but the big downside to Bakris is that for those 11 seconds when you do have the damage boost, your dodge is locked out from regenerating, so you can't actually use the Bakris dodge often enough to make it spammable. So I've actually got an even better exotic pairing to recommend, but this time it's with the Titan Behemoth and a different Horror Story role. As well as a Target Lock role, the other perk you want to look out for is Collective Action. Collective Action has flown under so many people's radars. Now, Collective Action, when you pick up an elemental object, provides you with a 10% damage boost that lasts up to 12 seconds based on how many you pick up. If you pick up 1 elemental object, you get 7 seconds of that damage boost, but if you pick up 2, you can get 12 seconds of damage boost, which is actually insane. 10% damage boost actually drops the TTK of this gun to 0.67 seconds as well, and in my eyes it's even better than Target Lock, because even if you miss a shot, the perk stays active and you don't lose the perk's damage boost like you do with Target Lock. But wait, with this subclass setup I'm about to show you, we can actually make the forgiveness of this gun even better to just 5 headshots and 1 body shot for those high resilience guardians thanks to our armor mods, which I'll show you in a second. The one subclass that can create elemental objects, in this case stasis shards, on demand and repetitively and plentifully without any kill requirement is Behemoth. And with the exotic Hoarfrost C, you can make it rain stasis shards. With Hoarfrost C, you can actually use your barricade ability to generate stasis crystals, which can be broken to make stasis shards thanks to our aspects. So now not only does our grenade make stasis crystals, but also our class ability. So we have 2 abilities that can generate stasis crystals, which can be broken to make stasis shards and power our Collective Action Horror Story. By the way, I'll post a dim link for the build in the comments or description below, but here's the optimal setup. I run Rally Barricade because it has a much shorter cooldown than Towering Barricade, meaning you can spam your Hoarfrost C more often. Catapult Lift, Shiver Strike, Glacier Grenade, Tectonic Harvest, which when you break stasis crystals spawns stasis shards. And then the second aspect I run is actually Cryoclasm. The reason why I run this instead of Howl of the Storm is because A, Cryoclasm can be used to break stasis crystals, meaning it's so much smoother in terms of gameplay to chuck your ability, use slide and get your damage boost instead of stopping and breaking crystals with your weapon. You could use Howl of the Storm instead, so you have 3 abilities which generate stasis shards, but the general gameplay boost provided with the improved slide and the breaking of crystals with Cryoclasm was just too good for me to give up, and 2 abilities, your barricade and your grenade, is enough to generate enough stasis shards for most engagements. Then for our fragments, they all synergize perfectly to get our abilities back. Whisper of Torment improves our grenade regeneration, Whisper of Shards gives you a boost to your grenade recharge rate whenever you break stasis crystals, Whisper of Chains gives you more recovery and a damage resist when you stand next to stasis crystals. And then Whisper of Rhyme gives you an overshield whenever you pick up stasis shards, meaning you not only just get a stronger weapon from stasis shards, but you're also harder to kill with this build thanks to this overshield. If you do decide to run Howl of the Storm, then run Whisper of Rending for improved damage against crystals using your weapons instead of the fragment Whisper of Chains. In terms of mods, if you run this with 2 stasis weapon surge mods, along with the elemental charge on your boots, whenever you pick up a stasis shard, it will also give you a chance to become armor charged, and this on top of collective action boosts your damage even more. So now when you pick up a stasis shard, you get 10% damage boost from collective action, an overshield thanks to Whisper of Rhyme, and then when you run 2 surge mods, you get an additional damage bonus on top, so you now only need 5 headshots and 1 body shot to kill a 10 resilience guardian. So you don't even need all headshots to achieve that faster 0.67 TTK, it's honestly nuts. Run this build with 100 resilience and 100 discipline, or as close to these as possible, and trust me, you'll always have collective action procced. I got very lucky and got a demolitionist collective action roll on my horror story, so I gained back even more grenade energy on kills to fuel even more stasis crystal generation. So as well as a dynamic sway reduction target lock roll, a demolitionist collective action roll is something I'd highly recommend farming for. So there you have it, my 2 exotic recommendations that really take horror story to insane levels. I liked using Mask of Bakris, but if you want constant uptime on that damage boost, the Hoarfrost Z build really was really strong. If you enjoyed what I talked about today, remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Destiny content, both PvP and PvE. I'm Mr. Ronit, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.